Boxing King Media in association with the Riyadh season. Eddie Hearn, you've made it to Riyadh once again. You're getting bored of this place yet?
No, I love it, honestly. I mean, I guess people saying, yeah, he would say that, wouldn't he? But I mean it. Like, I wouldn't be banging on about it if I didn't love it. Feels very homely here in terms of just the way that we're greeted, the excitement from fight fans and people in general. Food, hotels, hospitality, weather, gyms, fantastic. And zero crime, which is, I always harp on about, and something that we're not seeing in London right now.
Yeah, that's a fact. I asked Frank earlier, just spoke to him, and I said to him, like, if His Excellency never got involved, where do you think you and Eddie will be? Would you still not be talking to each other? What do you say to that?
I'd say, yeah. I'd say, I think I gave up a long time ago on ever really working with Frank Warren. Because, the first part of the journey for me, we were under a lot of pressure, and he done a great job to stick it on me, turn the screw. And I battled away and I came through the other side. But during that process, we got sort of further and further apart. And then, the fact that we'd never met each other in 13 years is quite unbelievable. And it just became a thing where it's like, well, that's how it's going to be. And, honestly, like, it's one of the best things that ever happened to the sport, but definitely to my boxing career, if you like, as a promoter, because it's become very enjoyable now. There's many days where it pisses you off and it winds you up, and, you pretend that it don't. And, he does an interview, says this, you get slated online, and then you fire back one, and then he goes mad, and it becomes very personal. And it doesn't have to be that way. I think it's a bit of a life lesson, really, to be honest, for me and just for people in general, that actually it can be more pleasant. And when it's more pleasant, generally it's more enjoyable. And, looking forward to spanking him in a couple of weeks on the 5v5.
Yeah, we're looking forward to all that drama when that starts. So on this card, you got Jaya Pattaya and Joe Cordina. Just want to know, what are the plans for them if both are successful going forward?
So for Joe, the instruction's pretty clear. I want the biggest fights for the most amount of money. And he's had a good result here because obviously he's financially being rewarded well, as they are out here, in a fight that I believe he wins. I think he needs to unify, or I think he needs to move up to lightweight. And I think he's more than happy to do both. I think a lot of fighters that get the opportunity to fight here are looking to make a statement so that His Excellency says, yes, I like you, we're having you back. And you look at the likes of, Jai, you look at the likes of Mark Chamberlain, they're fighters that he identified even before they came to Riyadh. So big moment for Joe, and I believe he'll shine on Saturday. For Jai, this is a very tough fight. Looked incredibly impressive against Zorro and against Jordan Thompson, but Bradis is a proven elite cruiserweight. The first fight was incredible. Not a lot of people probably know that. It was a fight of the year contender. Bradis broke Jai's jaw in 2 places, and it's going to be a very tough fight on Saturday night. I expect him to win by stoppage late. And then again, just try and capture the belts before, probably that inevitable move to heavyweight.
Indeed. And then in the main event, Tyson Fury, before we talk about the fight, I'm just curious, when Tyson started off his boxing journey, were you promoting then?
I was doing prize fighters.
Okay.
So I met Tyson Fury at a prize fighter in Newcastle. I reckon this was 15 years ago. And he had long hair, looked very different to how he did now. And my dad was talking to his dad about signing him. And they came to the fight to discuss. And I think actually my dad introduced him to me as, future heavyweight champion of the world, as he would do in front of them. And he was right. And we never signed him. And that was it. That was my first memory of Tyson Fury. I also went to the John McDermott fight at Brentwood Centre. I don't think I was at the first one, but I was definitely at the one where he stopped him. I might have been at the second one as well, but I think I turned up late. And then that's it, really. Watched him over the years. Really, never really rated him until he started proving everybody wrong. Coming through those McDermott years, even like the Cunningham fights and stuff like that. Chisora, But then obviously he fought Vladimir Klitschko, and I thought to myself, he has got absolutely no chance. No chance. And he won every round. And I watched that fight in a hotel lobby for James DeGale against, I can't remember, might have been Buta. No, I can't remember who the fight was anyway. And then again against Wilder, I thought he'd get beat, and he's just continued to prove everybody wrong. And, you know, as he stands the #1 heavyweight in the world, on the verge of history and really establishing himself as a true great of the generation. I've said before, if he beats Usyk to become undisputed, he goes down as a real great of the generation. And if he can beat AJ as well, maybe one of the greatest of all time.
And as of last I heard, you said around 9 knockout. What is it at this time on a Tuesday, 6:20 p.m.?
Fury by knockout.
Yeah, that's what
I just think, like, if he boxes the way he did against Wilder in the second fight, aggressively, I think he can stop him. But I've actually, since then, I've realised he's not going to box that way. He's coming in light. I think he's going to be moving a lot. I think he'll be boxing off the back foot. Someone just messaged me there, who I know, who knows Tyson quite well, and said, "What do you think?" And I said, And they said, "He's ready. He's in unbelievable shape." And then I said, if that's the case, he'll win on Saturday night. And I stand by that. If Tyson's physically, emotionally ready, if he's still the Tyson Fury, if he's still the fighter that he was against Wilder and Klitschko, I think he wins on Saturday night by points.
And then in the build-up to this, obviously, we saw the headbutt incident the other day. Seen the guys at TalkSport, they described it as thuggish behaviour. Somebody said GBH. Somebody said it's in his locking up. Carl Froch has gone in quite hard on his YouTube channel. What do you make of them comments? Are they fair or are they over the top?
Yeah, I mean, look, my opinion of Team Fury's probably changed quite a lot in the last 6 months because I've spent a bit more time with them. And, I've got quite close to Spencer Brown, who I'm very fond of as well. So I'll probably back them a little bit more than I might have in the past. I think it was wrong. I think he's acknowledged that. I think he's apologised. I think it was quite uncharacteristic of him because I've always talked in the past that John, he's there for the show and blah, 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 but actually never does anything. And this was the first time we've actually seen him do something, which I think was wrong. I also will say that emotions are high and certain people behave differently, and we put them in a position. It's like fighters, they're not normal people, but we bring them together. It's like Taylor Catchell next week. We're bringing those guys together. We're poking the bears, aren't we? So a normal person, you or me or whatever, I'm not saying John's not normal, but he definitely acts differently to others. If that was all going on, maybe I'd shout, "Yeah, you're going to get smashed on Saturday. Yeah. But it's like, and it's afterwards, it's like, best of luck, mate, But it obviously went too far. And, that happened. But hopefully it's done and dusted and we can get on with a great fight and both guys can make it into the ring on Saturday.
The last thing, I'll mould it into a couple of questions. You're going to bump into Ryan Garcia because he's announced he's coming over. Obviously, you guys have had a lot of back and forth, etc. How's that going to go?
Yeah, fine, I would think. I mean, I don't really, I DM Ryan the other day because I was looking at his tweet saying, like, obviously he blames me for him failing a drugs test, which, I mean, like, that's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. I wasn't promoting the fight. I wasn't involved with any VADA testing. But anyway, if he actually listens to the interviews, he'll realise that I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm backing him to prove his innocence. But I'm also not going to not stress that when he entered the ring to fight Devin Haney, he had performance-enhancing drugs in his system. Now, whether they were there intentionally or unintentionally, I really hope it's the latter. But what you can't do is just sit there and say, it's a conspiracy theory. Oh, I'm being set up. Come on. There is every chance that you're innocent in this situation, but they were still in your system. So you have to go through that process. And I've been through that process for a long time. It's not easy. But I hope that he's telling the truth.
And talking of that process, obviously you've had a lot of stick. Obviously you defended Conor for quite a while, and obviously now we've seen it's kind of gone back to square one with the suspension, and the trial's going to happen. As of right now, can he, if he wanted to, could he still fight in America?
Yes, I mean certainly in certain commissions as well. It's not really the move that we want to make because we want to tidy up this situation. We don't feel like he should be suspended, but he is. It's 2 years, I think. next week or very close since the test. And you talk about other people, Ryan being one of them. Other people that have failed tests. The treatment's been completely different. So it's very frustrating. But sooner or later, time's up anyway. I mean, like, he's just gonna be allowed to fight at some point. But it's very frustrating.
Just clarify that bit. Obviously, he's technically not fought in the UK for nearly 2 years now. So let's just say they say, you're going to have to serve a ban. Does that ban start from that court hearing ending, or does it backtrack to the last time he fought in the UK?
I mean, it should ultimately be from the test. But again, that's a UCAD decision, the lawyer's decision. But I don't think, sometimes people don't want to conform when they feel so strongly about something. But sometimes you have to give in to the system, even though you don't believe in it, but that's up to his lawyers to deal with, and hopefully we can see him back soon.
Eddie Hearn, thank you for your time, and I'll see you later in the week.
Cheers, mate.